this week on Tourism One-on-One as we examine the growth of the Morgans Group, the local bedding manufacturer, and how they have benefited from various initiatives of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, including through the Tourism Linkages Network.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace and Singer.
You think you could have get in on my feelings? You could have get me if you cycle down. Hey, Miggy, I hit and run. Miggy, I hit and run. Hey, it's a girl Shensia representing for CVM TV. See it happen. Oh.
For joining us for CVM News Afternoon for Tuesday, July 8, 2025. I'm Curlin Brown. There is a call for greater support among Caribbean nations, especially when it comes to trade. President of the private sector organization of Jamaica, Maitre Siago, speaking at this morning's regional private sector leadership breakfast at Sandals, Montego Bay, adds it's time the region stops looking outward to facilitate trade and instead focus on making businesses easier between its own member states.
Single market and economy, but those goals need action. We need to tear down the non-tariff barriers that make trade between our islands harder than it is to have trade with countries that are thousands of miles away. Let us simplify the protocols. Let's make it easier to do business across our respective borders. We have the talent, the creativity, and the natural resources. And with the right framework, we can finally compete on a global scale. I remain confident in the power of Caribbean people, confident in our private sector's willingness to collaborate, confident in our West Indies cricket team.
And we will have more from the breakfast, including responses from other regional leaders in CVM News at 7. With major steps being taken to improve the country's water infrastructure, ground was officially broken under the Western Resilience Water Project, a multi-billion-dollar initiative to boost supply along the island's north coast. With more, here's Akeem Oret.
With shovels in hand and heavy machinery on standby, the government has broken ground on what it calls a transformative water infrastructure project for Western Jamaica. Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, says the Western Resilience Water Project is a bold investment in Jamaica's future.
But the $22 billion that we are underway with now is a subset of what we will do over the next 5 years to improve and building resilience for water supply for some 900,000 Jamaicans.
Phase 1 of the project targets upgrades to key pipelines to strengthen distribution.
This phase of this project will invest 28 billion Jamaican dollars in 2 transmission mains that will move water from the Martha Brae to the terminal reservoir in the center of St. James, which will transform the water supply in Montego Bay and its environs.
The minister says Phase 2 promises even more, including increased capacity and improved water quality.
Phase 2 will see significant increases in capacity and improvements in quality of water production. That will happen with the construction of 2 new water treatment plants, which we have engaged the World Bank for assistance. These will be done through PPPs. That will be done at Rio Bueno and indeed at Roaring River in Westmoreland. So we expect to add water treatment capacity.
Communities and businesses from Western Jamaica are expected to benefit, especially in tourism and hospitality, where the demand for water is constant. Akeem Oret, CVM News.
The police in Manchester have temporarily shut down operations at the Christiana Animal Market. Investors uncovered a number of untagged animals which were being sold. Now, the move immediately sparked concerns among farmers and buyers, with calls for agricultural authorities to tighten the regulations. Raymond Morrison tells us more.
Sales came to a halt at the Christiana Animal Market in Manchester after police intervened, spotting several untagged cattle. Under current protocols, farm animals must be tagged for health and traceability purposes, a standard managed through agricultural agencies. PNP caretaker for Northeast Manchester, Valentin Wint, says the situation is symptomatic of a larger breakdown within the agricultural system, calling on the Ministry of Agriculture and RADA to act decisively.
The purchasers of the animals were afraid to buy because they were figuring that the police may stop them along the road. But what was borne out in that discussion was that many of these persons tried to get tags for their animals, some for as long as 3 years, and still can't get any tag for the animals. Some said 3 months and couldn't get any. So the practice of selling without the tag is something that happens every single weekend. Now, it proves that there's an inadequacy in the RADA department.
Farmers at the market say they want the system to work, but argue that the blame shouldn't fall on them. They claim they've been trying to follow the rules, but are being let down by a system that's not meeting their needs.
They have not been sending around the people to come and tag the animal. No, it is not working. No. And it's not our fault that it is not working. It's their fault. And they want to put all the blame on us as the farmers, when it is really not our fault. We would like to see the system work. We are cooperating, and the government must do their part and make me see that they are doing their part and don't try to force us.
While the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, has not issued an official statement, it is understood reports on the matter are being reviewed as they consider the next steps. For now, farmers and customers are left in limbo as concerns grow about the future of livestock sales if clear guidelines and support aren't quickly put in place. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
And we invite you to stay with us as we will have more news at noon in just a moment.
If you have financial needs, Chris and Charles will fix them for you. Powering great moments since 1992. Oh, we have it all. Powering great moments. Relax, you got recharge.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got the spark, don't be the dark, shine your lights on.
Come and tell me what is bothering you, Krishna. Come on.
If Mummy wins tomorrow's competition, then she will leave and take me away.
I won't allow that.
So the court gives the order that from today, Krishna's legal guardian will be her father, Mr. Sagar Chaturvedi.
I don't want to hear Ganga's name again as long as I live.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
We welcome you back with a surprising development in the Jamaican and Caribbean media landscape. Regional telecommunications giant Digicel has announced the closure of its news platform Loop. In a message on its website, Loop News bid the Caribbean a grateful goodbye, stating, quote, that after 11 years of proudly serving the Caribbean as a trusted media partner, Loop News is today announcing the end of our operations, end quote. Digicel is also reported to have announced plans to discontinue operation of its regional broadcasting entity, Sportsmax, by August 8. Of course, CVM News will continue to track that developing situation and bring you more as it becomes available. The proposals leading up to the decision being made on the rural school bus system is still being evaluated by the Jamaican Parent Teachers Association. The perspectives of both the leading JLP and the PNP were examined during our lead story segment on Monday.
The upshot for me in the dueling dragons debate between the two sides is that heading into a general election, here we are, where a serious policy difference exists around the transportation of students in rural Jamaica. That for me is a win already, regardless of which side of the argument is the superior side. The fact that this is a serious debate going into an election does suggest to me that the democracy is healthier than we think, regardless of which side of the coin you fall on.
Students come from different parts of the community, some deep rural, some across river, all that sort of thing. Yeah? And there are real issues as to how it is that you get the students in. I think both arguments have significant merits, but I also believe that there are some demerits in terms of the arguments as well.
What is being proposed is something that I am trying to figure out, and because the parents of Jamaica are trying to move away from the taxis. We're trying to move away from the buses that play the loud music and the adult conversations and the disregard of our children, where physical advances are made of our girls while they're traversing these taxis and packed up like sardines, moving from one place to the next. It affects the teaching and the learning experience for every single child who takes a public transport.
Now, in an effort to continue to serve and protect, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, has officially launched its very first artificial intelligence AI police agent, Constable Smart. Speaking on Sunrise, founder and CEO of Amber Group, Dushan Savadeo, says the AI-powered tool is designed to assist the public by providing quick and reliable access to information.
In the past, it was very difficult to access to information, to read hundreds of pages before you get to one information. But what we've done for JCF with the Constable Smart, first of all, we said, how do we make people get access to information a lot more faster?
Yes.
Now, for example, if I want to understand the speeding ticket laws,
Yes.
at what point can I be charged? What point my points are valid? At what point, how many points do I need to accumulate before my license is suspended? This even basic information is not easily accessible and not easily known to most people.
Yes, yes.
And that is why the conversational AI is making it so easy. It can speak in Patois.
Yes, wow.
It can speak in many dialects of Patois. It can
Yes.
understand in Patois those who have difficulties in reading and writing. For them, it becomes so much more easier to get access to information now. Just as a conversation with another person, you ask the questions and it gives you all the necessary answers. So,
come back.
Attention registered voters! Remember to collect your renewed voter ID card before the upcoming general election. If you registered to vote in 2016 or after and did not get your new ID card, it may have been automatically renewed. Simply visit your EOJ constituency office to collect your voter ID card. Contact the Electoral Office of Jamaica at 888-991-VOTE or 922-0425-9 for more information.
The time by Subaru is 12:15.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Thanks for staying with us. Residents of Baggy Valley in Savannah Lamar are seeing signs of road repairs. The Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, George Wright, has himself started to fix the roads. A decision, he says, follows numerous complaints from the people.
So we did make a pledge to them that we would come back and we would buy stones and put stones on the road, because over the years we have been using marl and marl is not working out. So I come up with this method now to use stone, which is very effective. I just want to let the people them know that gone are the days when we are putting marl on road, because the marl to me it's like butter against sun. And we know that the people deserve more than just marl. They deserve roads. But you see, because then we don't have all the funds to do the Baba Green, we have to give them something that will last. This is not really what we want to give them, but the stone will last. And that is why we are here today, to show the people that we care.
To news overseas, leaders of BRICS have warned of the dangers of tariffs, saying they don't want a confrontation with the U.S. President Donald Trump. The group of emerging nations made the comments at a summit in Brazil, where they were also discussing Gaza and tensions in the Middle East. Here's more from Al Jazeera.
The BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro ended with leaders of emerging economies that make up half the world's population and 40% of its GDP standing together to demand a new world order.
BRICS is convinced that we don't want a world under tutelage. We don't want any more Cold War. We don't want any more disrespect of sovereignty, nor any more wars. We need structural changes to live in the 21st century and not in 1945. Look what's happening in Gaza. It defies the imagination of any mortal on planet Earth.
The two-day summit focused on ways to revive multilateralism and global cooperation, less shaped and controlled by Western dominance. But it also weighed in on global conflicts, condemning the war on Gaza, as well as the recent bombings by Israel and the U.S. in Iran. Tehran's foreign ministry spokesperson told Al Jazeera he was satisfied with BRICS' response.
And by the way, among BRICS members are 2 permanent members of the Security Council. The level of support that we have received from across the globe, from many countries, including in particular from the countries of the region.
This, along with discussions on creating a new alternative to SWIFT, the main global interbank payment network, may explain in part why U.S. President Donald Trump has lashed out at BRICS. The U.S. president is now threatening to slap a 10%